welcome back. Today we're doing puzzle number 31 in the Fiendish Logic Puzzle book from Puzzle Baron and Stephen P. Ryder. This one's called Pasta Dinner. It's a logic puzzle classic where you have to sort out who ordered what at a restaurant. Once again, you might notice some marks on this page. This isn't the first time I've tried to take a crack at this one, but hopefully we can, with what I learned last time, it'll be a little easier. These are fiendish puzzles, so they're tough. So let's start at the top. The competitor who paid $9.99 was either Suzanne or whoever ordered Alfredo sauce. So Suzanne didn't order Alfredo sauce. The $8.99 bill was for capellini or penne. So we cross out everything but capellini or penne. The runner who chose Alfredo sauce paid $4 less than whoever ordered the rotini. So if the rotini was the most expensive, $12.99, the most Alfredo sauce could cost is $4 less than that, which is $8.99. Yes. And if the Alfredo was the least expensive, the least the rotini can cost is $4 more than that, which is $10.99. Now we see right off the bat, Alfredo sauce can't be the $9.99. That means it has to be Suzanne, because Alfredo sauce has to be $4 less than rotini. And rotini, the most it could be is $12.99. $4 less than that would be $8.99. So Suzanne is our $9.99. Okay. Of Terry and the runner, and rotini can't be Alfredo sauce. Almost forgot. Terry and the runner who ordered spaghetti. So Terry didn't get spaghetti. One paid $7.99, the other chose bolognese. So $7.99 is not the bolognese. Terry didn't order the capellini. Of the competitor who paid $10.99 and Yolanda. So Yolanda can't be $10.99. One chose pomodoro sauce, the other ordered rotini. So rotini is not pomodoro. Also, Suzanne can't be pomodoro because she's not $10.99 or Yolanda. She's $9.99. Whoever chose marinara sauce paid $2 less than Herbert. So Herbert is not marinara. If marinara is the very cheapest sauce, and it's $2 less than Herbert, then the least Herbert can be is $8.99. But of course, you can't be $9.99. That's taken, so marinara can't be $7.99. That's two less, right? Yes? Good. And if Herbert is the most expensive, the most marinara can be is $2 less than that, which is $10.99. Good. Claudia didn't pay $8.99. The contestant who ordered mushroom sauce paid $4 less than Yolanda. So if the mushroom sauce was the very cheapest sauce, the least Yolanda can be is $4 less than that, which would $4 more than that, which would be $10.99, but Yolanda can't be $10.99, so mushroom sauce can't be $6.99. And if Yolanda is the most expensive, then the most mushroom sauce can be is $4 less than that, $8.99. So also, Yolanda can't be mushroom sauce, obviously. She also can't be Alfredo just because it doesn't match up. We've narrowed down Yolanda quite a bit. She can't be marinara. Also, and this does come from when I did this puzzle previously, so don't feel bad if you didn't come up with this right out of the gate. The pomodoro sauce and the rotini can each only be $10.99 or Yolanda, and now Yolanda can only be $11.99 or $12.99. So that narrows those two down quite a bit. So rotini can only be $10.99 or Yolanda, it's already there pretty much, and pomodoro sauce, same thing. $10.99 or Yolanda, which is here or here. Good. Whoever chose marinara... no, we were down to this one. The bill for penne was higher than Florence. So penne is not the least. Florence is not the most. That's all we know so far. The runner who ordered rigatoni paid $4 more than Terry. So you know how this goes. We just did this. So rigatoni. Let me double check that it's rigatoni. Yeah, it's not rotini. It's $4 more than Terry. 2, 4. And if rigatoni is the most expensive, $8.99. Good. Okay. Number 12, we have an incomplete list clue. So we only get 5 of the runners. The context of this puzzle is that it's runners who are carbo loading for a run. That's why it says runners and not, say, restaurant patrons or diners. So Herbert, Terry, $8.99, and the two who ordered puttanesca and Alfredo sauce are 2 different people. All right, so Herbert can't be $8.99. Terry can't be $8.99. Neither of them can be Alfredo. Or what is it? Puttanesca? Or puttanesca? And puttanesca and Alfredo can't be $8.99 either. This is going to have some big implications because, let's see, Alfredo is $4 less than rotini. So now Alfredo can't be $8.99, rotini can't be $12.99. Same thing for Terry. However, if you look down here when I wrote out some relationships, we see that Alfredo is $4 less than rotini. Terry is $4 less than rigatoni. Rotini and rigatoni, different pastas. Therefore, Alfredo cannot be, Terry can't be Alfredo. Also, it's also in clue number 12. So, we have Terry can only be $6.99 or $7.99. Alfredo can only be $6.99 or $7.99. Of these two, one has to be Terry, the other has to be Alfredo. Unfortunately, they're in different categories, so we don't know. We can't really do too much with that yet, but we'll keep it in back of our minds. And yes, Alfredo puttanesca. Good. And what else? Okay. Now we have 2, speaking of how $6.99, $7.99 must be Terry and Alfredo, we have 2 things that are in the same category. Rigatoni and rotini now can only be $10.99 or $11.99. So those 2 slots are taken. We don't know which is which. We know no one else can have it. We get rid of that everywhere else. Yolanda. Okay, the runner who chose puttanesca paid $1 more than the runner who chose penne. Okay, puttanesca is $1 more. So it couldn't be the cheapest. And penne can't be the cheapest, so puttanesca can't be the second cheapest. And puttanesca can't be $8.99, so penne can't be $7.99. There you go. Now, penne can't be $10.99, so puttanesca can't be $11.99, $11.99, $12.99, and then there's nothing that's $1 more than the most expensive, so penne can't be that. Okay, good. So now we're in a spot where we have two related clue categories that are separated by, basically, the $9.99 one has to either be the penne or the puttanesca, because the penne could be here and the puttanesca could be here, or the puttanesca could be there and the penne could be there. The only other option is that the penne is here and the puttanesca is here, in which case it wouldn't be $1 apart, so that wouldn't work. So one of these, $9.99, which is Suzanne, it must be either penne or puttanesca. So if anything, these are different categories, but if anything can't be one of those things, it can't be $9.99. Speaking of which, Terry, being so narrowed down here, can't be penne, rigatoni, or rotini, just because it's been eliminated. So now, all right, so now it's only fettuccine, farfalle, and not capellini, so only fettuccine or farfalle. Certainly not spaghetti. Good. Okay. Oh, and Herbert can't be $8.99. Therefore, marinara can't be $6.99. That was from here. So also Terry can't be marinara for that same reason. Okay, and the runner who ordered fettuccine paid more than the competitor who ordered marinara sauce. So the least marinara, the fettuccine is more than marinara. So the least marinara can be is $8.99. So the least fettuccine would be $9.99. Therefore, fettuccine, that's also now can't be Terry. It also now doesn't overlap with Terry. So Terry, the only thing left is farfalle. So Terry is our farfalle. So if we look back at clue number 4, now we have two in the same category. We have of Terry, aka farfalle, and spaghetti. One is $7.99, the other is bolognese. So bolognese can only be farfalle or spaghetti, and the $7.99 can only be farfalle or spaghetti. And $6.99 and $7.99 can only be Terry or Alfredo in some order. But $7.99 can only be spaghetti or farfalle. So it would have to be spaghetti Alfredo, I guess. Yes. All right. So we can eliminate Alfredo from a lot of these for the same reason we eliminated Terry. Except it doesn't say that Alfredo can't be capellini or spaghetti, so that's still open. But it can't be farfalle, of course, because Terry can't be Alfredo, according to clue number 12. In fact, farfalle also can't be $8.99. In fact, let's clean that up. $8.99 can't be puttanesca. Anything from clue number 12. Okay, let's start at the top. The $8.99 bill was capellini or penne. It's also Florence or Oscar. Because it can't be Herbert, Terry, Claudia. Okay, the Alfredo sauce is $4 less than the rotini. Okay. The bolognese sauce has to either be farfalle or spaghetti. So, $10.99, $11.99 can't be either of those, so that can't be bolognese. Trying to think of the connection between Alfredo and spaghetti, because right now we have it that Alfredo can only be capellini or spaghetti, but spaghetti can only be $7.99 or bolognese. So that would mean if it was spaghetti Alfredo, it would have to be $7.99. Then Terry would be the $6.99. Okay, how about just talking out loud here, which makes sense, because I'm recording myself talking about a puzzle. So $7.99. That can only be farfalle or spaghetti. Now, if it was... It also has to either be Alfredo sauce or Terry in some order. Oh, by the way, Terry also can't be Pomodoro. Doesn't line up. So if it was Terry and the farfalle, Terry, then the Alfredo would be $6.99, and it would be the $7.99. Okay, so if the spaghetti was, how about this? I'll try it this way, backwards. So if $7.99 was the spaghetti, then Terry would have the bolognese, and it would have to be the $6.99. That works out. And I suppose it wouldn't have to be Alfredo sauce. No, it would. Then it would have to be Alfredo sauce, because the $6.99 bolognese would be taken. Yes. So if the spaghetti was $7.99, it would have to be Alfredo sauce, because in turn, Terry would be $6.99 and it would be the bolognese. Now instead, if Terry was the $7.99, The Alfredo would be the $6.99, in which case it could be the capellini or the spaghetti. But the spaghetti... Oh. So if Terry was the $7.99... I usually don't like to do this, but I'll make a little note. If Terry was the $7.99, then the spaghetti would have to be bolognese. Yeah, but the capellini could still be the Alfredo sauce. Could still be the $6.99, so that doesn't work. Well, spaghetti. No, I didn't get anything out of that. Oh well. Okay. How about this one? The bill for the penne was higher than Florence's total. We've narrowed down the penne quite a bit. It can only be $8.99 or $9.99. And that has to be higher than Florence, so the most Florence could be is $8.99. And then penne could be $9.99. Or penne could be $8 or $9.99 and it could be less than that. So that means Florence can't be Pomodoro, can't be puttanesca, can't be rotini, rigatoni. Obviously can't be penne. Can't even be fettuccine. No, wait. It was... No, yeah, fettuccine was more than the marinara. I was getting confused because penne was more than Florence. Yeah. Of course, Florence can't be the fettuccine. Okay, good. So now the Alfredo. Now, Florence can only be the capellini or the spaghetti. And so could Alfredo. That could only be capellini or spaghetti. Could Florence be getting the Alfredo? Is that possible? Alfredo sauce, what do we know about that? I mentioned that Yolanda can't be rotini because 4 more than mushroom is Yolanda and 4 more than Alfredo is rotini, and since these are different sauces, that's something, especially since Yolanda might be the $11.99. It could overlap with rotini. Oh, wait. No wonder I couldn't solve this puzzle. I was missing this giant clue right here. Okay, so as I said before, if you look at the relationships, rotini is 4 more than Alfredo sauce. Where is that? Just to point to it. Oh, that's the other one. Rotini. There it is. Yolanda is 4 more than mushroom sauce. Those are 2 different sauces, therefore Yolanda cannot be rotini. And according to clue number 6, Yolanda has to either be Pomodoro or rotini. She can't be rotini. That means she must be pomodoro. And the rotini is the $10.99. All right, now we're cooking with gas. That means rigatoni is $11.99. That means Yolanda is pomodoro. There it is. Yes. Okay. What else? Okay, so as mentioned, okay, Alfredo sauce is $4 less than rotini. Alfredo sauce is $6.99, and that means Terry is $7.99. She is also $4 less than rigatoni. So 1, 2, 3. It adds up. Good. So we have our Terry. Now that means that Terry is the $7.99 one. It just worked out that way. So that means that spaghetti is bolognese. Spaghetti bolognese. That means Capellini is our Alfredo. And that means Capellini is $6.99. And farfalle is Terry, of course. Okay. All right, bolognese was spaghetti. Great. And Yolanda is, well, she can't be, well, no, she's not rotini. And Yolanda is pomodoro. We don't know that yet, but we're on a good course. Oh, Capellini. Great, and that only leaves penne for $8.99. And $1 more than penne is puttanesca. So Suzanne is puttanesca. Great. Okay, so the puttanesca is $9.99 now. Good. So spaghetti is bolognese, not puttanesca. That means the bolognese goes here, and the puttanesca is fettuccine. Good, and that's Suzanne. That gives us our first full set, I think. Great. Okay, that only leaves one pomodoro, which gives us our Yolanda. Pomodoro, Yolanda is rigatoni. Okay. Oh, look at that. We have all our pastas. That's great. Capellini, Alfredo. Let's see. Penne is either Florence or Oscar. Well, penne is more than Florence. So obviously, Florence is our least expensive, aka Capellini, aka Alfredo. Very good. Okay, Oscar is the only one left to be $8.99, and that's penne. Rigatoni's here. Spaghetti. Great. All right. Spaghetti is bolognese. I don't know who that is quite yet, but we will get there. Marinara is $2 less than Herbert. No, not yet. Mushroom is $4 less than Yolanda. So $7.99. We have our mushroom. Why didn't they have the party at the Toadstool's house? Because there just wasn't much room. Which is a shame, because he was such a fun guy. Let's see. So let's see. Looks like we have Florence with the capellini and the Alfredo. Then we have Terry with the farfalle and the mushroom. Good. There. Okay. Good. So Suzanne is fettuccine and puttanesca. Arrabbiata and marinara. Let's see, do we have that yet? Okay, let's keep looking. What else can we fill in? Oh, Oscar. No, we don't have the sauce yet for that. Not that we need it, but you know. Oscar. And then it's Yolanda, rigatoni, pomodoro. Good. Okay. The $8.99 bill was for the penne. The Alfredo sauce was, yep, good. Good. Terry, no, good. Good. Marinara sauce is $2 less than, no, we don't know that yet. Claudia is not $8.99, good. Okay. The Alfredo, okay. The puttanesca. Oh, puttanesca, no, we have that, $1 more than penne. Okay, fettuccine is more than marinara. Okay, so fettuccine has to be more than marinara. So marinara can't be $10.99. That would be more than the fettuccine, which is $9.99. So marinara is $8.99, which means Herbert is $10.99. And making him the rotini. And the arrabbiata. That's all that's left. All right, marinara is Oscar. Ooh, penne marinara. And last one is Claudia with the spaghetti and the spaghetti bolognese. A classic. And then $10.99, Herbert, rotini, arrabbiata. Okay, let's check their answers in the back of the book. 30. Okay, looks up. Oh, I saw the one for Klumner 30, which also has a Yolanda, and I'm like, what? Yolanda first? Thank goodness, it's this one, 31. So, Florence, Terry, Oscar, Suzanne, Herbert, Yolanda, Claudia, good. Capellini, Farfalle, Marinara. Wait. I wrote Marinara in the wrong category. I do this sometimes. So, Capellini, Farfalle, Penne, Fettuccine, Rotini, Rigatoni, Spaghetti. Good. Alfredo, Mushroom, Marinara, Puttanesca, Arrabbiata, Pomodoro, and Bolognese. We got it. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you.